about to graduate from school when they drafted me. It was back in 1943, yes. And I still wasn't still wasn't out of school yet, so they waited for me till I graduated, which was 1943. And as soon as I graduated, they drafted me, to the service.
Okay. So you just finished high school, and
right,
immediately they drafted you.
Right, huh?
Immediately they drafted you?
Yes, yeah. See, within a week's time or a week. It was maybe a week or a couple of weeks that I was home, and I was drafted. I had to go report for the service, and and then I spent some time in camp. Let me see. I forget what camp it was, but it was here in Chicago. I mean, right around the outskirts. I forget the name of the camp. We were there for a few days. So then we got orders to ship out to. Well, we didn't know where we were going, but after about 6 days on the road train, we got to Fort Lewis, Washington, and that's in the state of Washington.
Oh, okay, on the West Coast.
Right, on the West Coast, right. And
that's where you went into training?
That's when we started our training. Fort Lewis, for about maybe 3/4 of a year, I think, or maybe half a year or something like that. I forget now. But before all this happened, I remember that one of my brothers, his name was Paul, he enlisted in the Coast Guard, which was not before 1939 or something like that. And yes, about 39. And he was on duty for maybe a couple, 2-3 years, and then he was mustered out, and then it was my turn to go. And when I was being, let's see, I forget what they call that, mustered out, no, not mustered out, reporting to get my exams and all that, to see if I was fit to go. My oldest brother, his name was Carmel. He was, I think maybe he's about 10 years older than I was. He was called for the same thing, to be have his exam and see if he was able to go. They found that he was not fit to go, so they didn't have it. Meanwhile, I was in the service. I mean, before I died, I was in the service, and like I said, I was in Fort Lewis, Washington for my basic. Then they later was from there they shipped us back to Kansas, Camp Chaffee, Kansas, for some more training, and then I think we went to it's Camp Chaffee. It's Fort Lewis.
Been a while.
Quite a while, anyway. Trying to do this from memory. I know I landed in Kansas, and then Arkansas. And then in Arkansas, then we had maneuvers in Louisiana, state of Louisiana, and Everglades or whatever. I mean, somewhere around there, you know. We see wild pigs and see armadillos, whatever, all these armadillos.
Right.
And snake, a lot of big snakes. But and from there we after that training we went to New York. And from New York we embarked on one of our troop ships. It took us about 11 days to get across the Atlantic, and we landed in Cherbourg, France, where we were the first ones to land there after D-Day. And from there I think we started our campaign by the hedgerows. I guess you remember the hedgerows, huh?
No.
They're big mounds of dirt, like they do. Like people would separate themselves from the other farm by big mounds of dirt. They used to grow like like little mountains, not as big as a mountain, but big hills, you know.
Right.
And they used to call those the hedgerows because there was a lot of vegetation going on there, you know. And then the Germans used to make good use of that, you know. When they were fighting, they'd fortify themselves around the hedgerows.
Okay.
And they'd have to, fight as you wanted to advance, you know.
So the Germans were still in France at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, so we and so when we landed there, when we got there, they took us by I think a train to the front, which was not too far. I think it might have taken about maybe half a day or something like that, you know, to get to where the front was, almost to the front, you know. And we dug our foxholes, and because we didn't have no place to stay, so we dug our foxholes and then sort of fortified ourselves somehow. They issued us our rations and our equipment, and every so often we used to have to go what they call reconnoiter the front and see what was happening at the front, see if the Germans were, doing the same thing or whatever. And one time we came to a fortification where there was this, I think it was a German tank was there. It was that German that was burnt. It's his clothes and all, just scalp and whatever. Then we go back to our line and we'll then wait for some more wait for the order to move forward the front, which when it did come, we were moving up, and it was just like like thunder in the distance and all this like trucks or tanks moving around, and you're going to toward the front, and it's that's a pretty bad feeling, huh?
Why? I mean, what did it feel like?
Scary.
Scary?
Yeah. Going into like a meat grinder, You see guys coming back,
No, that's fine.
I don't think I can.
Well, okay. So, and then as the war progressed,
As the war progressed, I mean, well, I guess we had to advance, just because I know we fought the Germans there. We took all the ground they were occupying, and just kept moving forward. Can't remember.
can't remember all that. That's fine.
Well, this happened in winter time too. You thought maybe the tanks would be able to help you, but being the icy weather there was, they couldn't utilize their tanks, because they wouldn't, they'd be sliding, slipping on the roads and all that,
Right.
Wherever it was on the fields, they would bog down. So they couldn't be used unless it was good weather. And and one time, well, there I was acting as maybe there would be let's see, a scout for a while up front. And I remember one time I was scouting. I was going too fast in front of the platoon, and they just told me to slow down, and there I realized maybe why they were saying, because it was enemy. Well, enemy could be anywhere, and you just don't do that. You get too far ahead. Then after a while, they put me as messengers between the platoons. Messenger run back and forth, and
To deliver information.
And there's a lot of things after that. And when they were shouting us, I just remember they used to tell us, one shell hits, go where that shell landed, and just go in that hole, and don't stay there, because usually they don't hit in the same place,
Right.
So they keep hard, shouting us. So probably that was a good thing to do, but another time we had advanced and taken a village over a village, and we took over a house for the night to rest, because the Germans had left the village, and they declared it safe. So we went to went to sleep supposedly, and then right before it started getting light, we heard some tanks on the front. And then heard those Germans. Well, they had cut us off, and this farmyard, we were right in there where the Germans had cut us off. I remember, we heard Germans coming come to the hallway, the bottom floor. So we had gone upstairs, and a few of our men were wounded, and we told them to keep quiet, you know. And we all trained our rifles down toward the stairs or wherever, you know. And me and some of the one of our guys was down with the civilians. What he done was took his pants out of his trousers out of his boots and put like a babushka over his head and stood with the civilians. And he lived it, you know, got through it. Some of them was wearing a bind, and one had to go in the commode and escaped. And well, some of our followers were captured. They were, I know one of them said camarade, you know, some, they, you know, we lost some men there. And one of my buddies was, he was a Indian by birth. His name was Abraham Webster. He had gotten shot through the neck. They just wounded. But and when all this was going on, there was another building where two of our guys escaped, and they went down to where our tanks destroyers were, and told them about it. And it was early in the morning when they came, and we heard some shooting, and the Germans were rushing to get out, and so after we heard this, so we got up and started just firing in their direction where they were retreating. And in the morning we saw this German tank and half tractor in front. They were all blown up. See the clothing on the trees, whatever. But after that, we just kept going.
Keep going until you
advance, you know.
Right.
Forward toward Germany, yeah.
Until it was over.
Yeah, until it was over. Yeah, it was it was months. It was just the beginning. When it first started, the first few months, and then so many things I figured about. I just choose to forget.
Well, let's move past the war. When you came home?
Well, before that, we got to, let's see, part of Germany where they must have the concentrations close by, the concentration camps. So as we were advancing up, these woods, all of a sudden these sort of like prisoners came running out toward us. like rabbits too. One grabbed it, hugged me. Kiss. They were just going. Because they had been in a concentration camp. We never got to see that part because we kept going. Imagine away from it, in a different direction, you know. But now I realized it was, you know, what it was when we saw them.
You had him? Did you realize it at the time? Or?
No, we just took it for granted they were, you know, prisoners, but we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know they were being cremated or whatever. You know. All that we learned after.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got to a little town in Austria, close to the Italian frontiers. There, they told us that war had ended, you know. That the president had died before that.
The President Hitler? Or?
No, President
Franklin in America?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other parts, I don't know if you knew it or not, that Hitler had killed himself or what, you know.
When you found out this information, how did it make you feel?
More glad in a way that we were going to come home, or had a choice of coming home or staying there. Which I knew we were going to, they're saying we were going to retrain so we could go to Japan, you know. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I want to do that again or more. So I elected to stay there, you know. And then by the time I wanted to come home too, you know. So I'll take my chances, you know. So I told him what was the reason? I had to have a good reason, you know. So I told him, well, I was going to get married or something, you know. And I guess they thought that was good enough, so then they were afraid for me to come home. You know?
Were you going to get married at that time, or you just told them that?
I just told them that, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have no special girlfriend here, you know. And there's some that were writing to me, but I had no thoughts of it, you know.
Right.
And then there was German girl wanted me to stay there, you know. I wrote there for a while, but then it quit.
A German girl?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where had you met her?
In Austria.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, it was a beautiful country, you know. But like I said, I wrote there for a while, but I'll take my chance to go home. Then, as I told her, I may send for her or whatever, you know. So, but just so I can come home, you know. Which was the best thing I did, you know. I think sometime when I was on leave on vacation, I say it's August or somewhere the war ended, you know. The Japanese surrendered.
After the bombing?
Yeah, I was home now.
What was that like when that happened?
Everybody went crazy. Yeah? we're so happy, that we didn't have to go back. We went back and back into the report back to service. Then me and another guy, his name was Petzinger. He lived here in the city, and he said, let's go, let's go home, And I don't know if that was the day it ended. I know I went on. I was AWOL for a little while, a few days.
AWOL, you were?
Yeah. So yeah, I overstayed. I think we came on a pass. Must have been a 3-day pass or something like that, and overstayed by a few days or something. But we kind of when I got back to the post, they just gave me a company punishment.
Which was?
Either clean up butts or on KP, with kitchen work, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Washing pans or cleaning the barracks or something like that,
Right.
Yeah. I guess when I was discharged, I had been with MPs for a while, when I was discharged. There was a friend of mine there too that used to live around where the same place we used to live. And, we were by where my dad used to work for the railroad. He used to live there, and he was in the Navy, and he got discharged about the same time I did, And his name was Raymond Ramirez, about my age too. And he had served, the Navy for the duration of the war, which is back in 1946, I think, about 45, 46. And when we got out, I think the first thing we done was me and him go into what we call the city, There was an Ashland in 47, we used to go there, And we ordered all this ice cream. Kept eating ice cream, and we got sick of it, Instead of beer, just hard liquor, bigger beer or something like that.
Right.
We were tasty for ice cream.
Didn't get any ice cream in the war?
No. I think the only ice cream I had was in the front was when it snowed, we used to have the powdered chocolate powder,
Like Ovaltine?
something like that, yeah. But just chocolate, give me chocolate, You get water and whatever, and or whatever, the snow melted, and throw the chocolate in there, and you have chocolate drink, But we, I do it. I throw it in the snow and make some like ice cream,
Right.
And it was more like the snow ice or something like that, something like that. So that's the only ice cream we had, And I think that never left my mind at the taste, So we got discharged, and the first opportunity we had, we went to this ice cream parlor and ordered all kind of, like maybe sundaes and banana splits, whatever,
Right.
Until we ate so much that we got sick, And that's it. A long time ago. There's so much, But I said, the service, something that you don't like to remember,
Right.
Rather forget. Train myself.
Train yourself to forget?
Yeah, because otherwise you sleep when you remember.
Right.
Any loud noises. Cars backfire, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that I've seen that I forgot, you know. I remember we were talking about in the very first few weeks. The airplane got shot right above our heads. It was Germany, you know, in Germany. They were parachuting down, and everybody was shooting at them, you know. I don't know if they got killed or not, you know.
Right.
But everybody was shooting. Yeah. Our own planes. Like I said, I forgot how to do. Met some kids. Got the crazy thing where up in the front in the small town we had taken. I befriended with these two kids that were maybe 5 years old. Was little boy his name was Alloway. I forget his sister's name, was a little older. And they invited me to go to church with them, you know. I did, but I don't remember everything, you know.
Where was that in?
Where was that?
Yeah.
In France, you know.
Okay.
We were just getting started, you know. They took over the town, and I said, they've done a crazy thing, you know. Went to church with them, you know.
You,
Kids are better, yeah.
what, you said you did a crazy thing by going to church?
Yeah.
Why was that crazy?
Because, I mean, it was not, the war was still going on, and they could counterattack or whatever, you know. And they could have, you know, just, you know, or maybe, you know, sometimes there were these stragglers, you know, Germans or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, they were dressed up like in this village that we were.
Okay, so, but you're saying that you had done a crazy thing.
Yeah,
Right.
like I said, I was at
I just brought you water.
Oh.
I heard your coffee.
Yeah, I did.
Well, why did you do it then?
Feeling sorry for the kids, you know. Feeling sorry for them and forgetting who I was or where I was, you know. Just not really being, you know, logical about things, you know, just on the spur of the moment, whatever, you know.
Did you get in trouble for it?
No, not remanded or anything like that, because I don't know, for some reason they didn't miss me, yeah. The rest, yeah.
Right.
They didn't miss me, yeah. It just happened, you know. I guess if you plan some, maybe somebody would, you know somebody or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
But on the spur of the moment, you know. Yeah, to this I remember the little boy's name was Alloway. And his sister's name, I forgot her name. But I said, he was about 4, I think. And I mean, you give him, you know, offer him chocolate, chocolate, candy, and the service used to give us, you know, to eat when we were hungry, whatever, you know. Which was good, and gave him chocolate, whatever. And I just liked them, and I just remembered the kids back home, you know. It just breaks your heart, you know. You see them. I just forget, forget. Can't still remember everything. I mean, the surroundings. France was a lot different than Germany. France was like these narrow streets and cobblestone, like brick made out of brick. You could see over here on the sidewalk, somewhere like brick. That's where their streets. Yeah. And next to they were narrow. And the farm yards were more like chickens and pigs and whatever. And I think at least some of a lot more what would you call these wooden shoes? Like these Dutch shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The French?
Yeah, French. Yeah. I don't know why, but a lot of them did. Yeah. Maybe the last longer or something. But you know what? It's still like I said, sleeping out. We used to sleep out a lot outside in the winter. Foxholes, whatever. In the underground, and all this. One instance, I think there was water in the foxhole, so I think I sort of elevated myself by putting some strong branches and tying what you call the blanket to the post. Kept me above the water, but because it had to be in the foxhole,
right?
Because there were, artillery bombardments, they would just anytime,
right?
And times. I mean, it seems like you can't survive that way. When you say that dog has a better life than a soldier like that, because they can go away, hide, or don't have to participate in something like that. You can just find a better, safer place. And you don't see that many animals too. When it's on something like that. I've seen a lot of dead horses on the road. A guy, when our airplanes caught some Germans on the street, like in convoys, they would strafe the streets with bullets, and tanks. One of my, as I was, advancing, you could see just a skull. It was like a necklace around his shoulder, or head with skull. All little pieces, around his neck, around his body, and burnt, trucks overturned, horses. Because they use a lot of horses in too, to move their armaments. And snow and rain or whatever, you'll be out there. And when what we call that Battle of the Bulge, whatever, we were advancing just under what they would call right flank, which was down toward, we were in southern France, and they were a little more toward the north on our left flank, which was the northern part, northern part of France, wherever we were, we were noticing all that, what do you call that, all the movement that was going downward,
Right.
and they were, what do you call it, upper, what do you call it, echelon, whatever. It was, I guess, trying to get some rush help for them, and I guess we were having our own problems with the, what do you call it, we were fighting some I forget what they call themselves. The Germans, Germans have stormtroopers or whatever what they call themselves. Counterattacking and whatever. It's still, I mean, you can't, you don't know about it. Just where you're at, just where you're at, whatever you're doing at the moment, whatever kind of, move forward and stay alive or whatever. That's a long time ago. That's 60 years already?
Yeah, almost over then, so.
Yeah, it's just a long time ago.
It's a long time.
Yeah. And like I said, lucky, I never, I think a few times that I got told saves I was right on the, what do you call it, when it was open trucks. They're moving around. They're going to the front or something. Heard the bomb explode, and I kept hearing a whirring sound, a piece of shrapnel hit me in the chest. It was spent. It had lost any kind of force, It just hit me, And that's the close, Yeah, that went on, just bullets flying around. I said, being a scout is awful, awful feeling, And I guess when you're young, I guess you can do anything,
Why is it?
Yeah, no sense of, no sense of, well, I didn't have nothing, I was straight out of school, What else do you know? You don't have, you have family, okay. But, like, you're not married, we weren't married or anything like that. And we were not tied down to anybody, just, our own families. And you don't have nothing to think about, And because you don't know any better, That's why I guess you see so many young guys out there, And older guys, you had some older guys that led you, but they weren't that much older. Maybe they're in their 30s or upper 20s or 30s, The older ones were the ones that were more in command, the what do you call majors, the majors and captains and lieutenants and all that. So, and they were all usually on their orders, they were more like quarterback, and they were more in a safer place. We lost quite a few. There's two, but one was Captain Dick, D-Y-C-K, and let's see, Lieutenant Schindler, I think Schindler. How's you been in the first squad? Not third squad, third squad.